So let me remove all the drawings which I have done so that it's clear. So we will draw a next point of liquidity. I'm sorry guys with my drawings, not very savvy with this one, but this is basically, if we see the lows, it is 20971. So we can use the other method. So 20971.00, and here it goes 71.00. So this is where we can see the weekly lows can be targeted. The other uh, thing we are not very sure because the week is still in progress, today being the last weekly day. This was our last sorry this is the last red candle before this red weekly candle. Opening of the last red candle. So these are the 2 points where we find there may be some resistance or price may stay together for some time. If we see now the last week, consecutive to the last week, prior to the last week, the low has been broken, and we are not very sure right now what can be the next step. If I see from where the weekly bottom was low was made, so I think this is the last swing high. Now if this last swing high is also more or less matching to the red candle which we have already marked. Guys, please understand there is nothing magical that will happen. It's just we are trying to see what we can do and how can we earn out of this NQ. So we will not be talking any motivation here. We will not be talking of any fancy things which all of you know, all of us know, but we struggle to execute. So we will keep focused on how we trade and what we trade. It may be right, it may be wrong. So people who are looking for some strategy or some new thing, uh, I'm not sure, very sure. I'm not very sure if you'll find something out of here. The purpose of this streaming is not to talk anything which is very general, uh, very vague, and you people have already spent hours and days and weeks of going through it. The purpose of this stream is to just trade, execute. I will only focus on doing the things. I think all the people who will be seeing here would have already seen what we need to do. They know what they need to do. They have tried doing it, but sometimes it's all action. That is what lacks us from what we need to get. So let's keep doing that. It's an endless journey. There's no 1 week, 2 week, 1 month target. There's no target. It's just the process. We will come, we will trade, we will follow the process, try to follow the process. I do alert you, emotions will kick in because had it been so easy, everybody would have made the money out of it. So let's trade, just trade. My chat is open. Anybody is uh, free to share his content. I mean, advice. I request you all to maintain the community guidelines. Any offensive language, any foul language, any communal or political content is not allowed as per community guidelines. Neither we should indulge into that. This is just of personal educational stuff. If we can earn out of it, it's good. Otherwise, there's nothing to lose. So let's focus on the train. Now, what I believe is we are not very sure if this liquidity will be taken out because it is just last 2 weeks. If you go to the daily time frame now daily time frame, if you see, this is the only single candle which has given a hope of this weekly liquidity being taken out. And if we get into the weekly liquidity, the next daily liquidity which resides here is this one. So there will be two targets. The first one will be this one, and the second will be this one. Or maybe we can go exactly what is the low, 20678. So 20678. Now, the first thing which I believe I would have been done when I started trading, I'm just 1 year old, 1.5 year into the trading. Now, the moment I saw this, as if oh, this would have been, trapped me into uh, the cliche of, catching the falling knife. Now I do refrain from it. If I've missed the move, let the move be missed. Uh, if we see the gap here, number one, this is a gap. Now, because this is very far from, if we see 21708, and this is, so it's almost 500 points. So while we can just draw it to see, put it into the mind that it is there is no point now to consider this as a immediate focus of trading. What I believe we can do is, this was the low. Prior to this fall, this has been broken. Now, if you see the low of this candle is 21648.75. So if we go to 21, the low is 21648. So 21648.5 and 21648.5. So this is the low which actually can become handy in determining whether this will move back or not on a daily frame. If we go on the gaps, we can see uh, this has been disrespected. We can see uh, this has been disrespected. And we can also see now we are in the third gap. So this candle has already touched the third gap on the day one when it started, Wednesday. Now the next candle could not break it is still, so we don't consider this as any move. The only thing is it could not break the low, so we are not very we were not sure. Today, if we see, the momentum is this, and most probably the first look will be the 20971 will be taken out. We don't know yet. This is only on the daily time frame. Now, if we see other way, now where is the resistance lying here? There was this gap before this liquidity. which when the price went up before this low, it went with the momentum, and this acted as a inversion fair value gap, and this candle could not break below this. If you see, the wick went there, but the body couldn't break it. Now, since this gap has not been broken yet, maybe from last 3 4 days, so we do find uh, it won't be a smooth, easy flow of the candles touching this one. It may still go through, but the chances are that it may take a resistance from here. And if we see, let me find where is that path. Mm, or maybe where it is in the drawings. Maybe. Yes. So this may happen to be that this goes from here, it goes to the middle point, it comes back to the this fair value gap, and then it goes through. This can be a one part. The other may be this goes to the mid frame, goes past here strongly, stay here, and then continue from here to further upward motion. Like this. Now let's see how it goes. Now let's get back to 4-hour time frame and see how it looks. On a 4-hour time frame, we see these daily gaps has been violated, but somehow this gap, which was on the daily frame, is creating a resistance. We don't know. It may be suddenly it may pass through. Now, there's no other way than to wait and watch. The initial structure of the market looks very bearish. It has, if we see, if we take the standard deviation method, so this was the high, this was the last low on a 4-hour frame. So we can see it is falling perfectly into that, and market is somehow matching perfectly to this liquidity. Yeah, it's not exactly you know taking out this low, but obviously still it may be around 3 to 4. So it is already on the second leg off. It went up to 2.6. Uh, then it is now 2.6. It went back. So we should also include here, I believe, 150 levels. That is also 1.6. Do we think something else is needed? I think towards it. Okay. So if we see, it went back to 1.68 level. Now it is heading to 2.618. So the best thing now will be to just not do anything. Just wait and watch. We don't know what is good because this was a easy liquidity. If you see this leg, the only time price has really come back was this leg. Otherwise, it was almost a one-way go. But here, if you see, it's a proper channel being made. So that means this area would definitely provide some kind of resistance to the market before it takes out this liquidity. Now we go to 1 hour. So 1 hour, there's nothing. We have to follow uh, the drawings which we did on daily and hourly. 4 hour. Otherwise, we will be, becoming too nitty gritty and ending up the things on a higher time frame, missing out the things on. Now we see 1 hour. So this is already far. This is already for at least when we consider intradays or scalping. I'm sure nobody's here to look for 400 points if he's a scalper. Yes, do things happen, but that is not the average kind of scalps anybody look for. For NQ or MNQ, if you're able to get around 30 to 35 points on a daily basis, believe me, you will be in 1% of the people uh, in retail traders. People talk a lot. They make big revelations, risk reward 1 to 7, 1 to 8, but that doesn't matter. What is the consistency of what you're doing will make you or break you. You can be very good in finding a big trade, getting a big, I wouldn't say finding, getting a big trade and then lose up next 20 days. It doesn't make fun. It's better to get 150, 200 every day, or at least 3 or 4 times a day. It still makes you maybe $700, $800 per week. If you take 4 weeks, that's around $3,000, $2,500 to $3,000 a month. And I'm not saying that is enough. I do agree. You need much more than that. But the important thing is it's not scalability. Scalability is, you know, a click away. You can buy the accounts and you're already scaling up. The thing is consistency. Once you're consistent, then it's a matter of, 1 year and your life can change. The problem is people complex it, make it complex, uh, under FOMO or under all the emotions which you already know, and then things don't happen. So let's keep focused. Let's look for some practical, daily achievable goals, and we are good to go. Now, if we see here, this is taking resistance from this Fibonacci level, but we don't know. There's no backward trend. So I'll tell you my story. Earlier, what will happen is the moment I find a green thing, I will just take a trade without knowing what will happen or without any patience. It will maybe going something here, then it will come up. I will take shots and the classic theory of catching the market. Now, what do I see here is there's already a fall and it's a drastic fall. So, going long will need a very strong evidence of that market has actually reversed. If you ask me personally, I will not long till the time market comes back on this high, breaks this swing high, stays here for at least 2 3 candles or at least for a session, and then there's a big swing upwards. That will confirm that yes, the market has changed the trend. One single candle or a flick here, wick here won't convince me to go longs. Now, that doesn't mean I will go short. That is the key thing which I'm trying to improve myself. Earlier, what I used to do was okay, there's no long, that means it is short. So, that was a very wrong thought that was prevailing into my mind. If you are going short, not if you find you cannot go short, that doesn't imply you will go long. It only implies you cannot go short. It's like there are three options: A, shorts, B, longs. Now, and the most difficult is no trades. Wait. Now, wait is something we all tend to hate. It's like you come on a crossing, there are three ways. You know only one way of your target, that okay, this is the way that is not going to do my target. That doesn't mean the other way will make you reach your destination. And then there's a third way. Wait. We don't let people come with a sign of the destination we want to reach and see whether they are reaching there or not. We just go the opposite direction. So it's not a suggestion. What I'm trying to tell you, what I feel, I may be wrong, I may be right, it's individual. But here, longs will be a big no or a big risky bet till the time market comes back here, breaks it here, stays here, and then moves up. Yes, many of you people will be thinking that this is a big move to wait for, because now if we see the market is at what levels, maybe 20, let's see, 2040 levels. And what I'm trying to tell you is, so people will say, oh, why you want to wait for 200 points move before you take a confirmation? But that's it. That is what it is. The structure shows that market has come down heavily. To go and counter against the move, against the trend, it has to be very solid so that it goes back. So one thing I'm, trying to make out myself today is I will not go long. Now, will I go short? I don't know, because there's a liquidity here. So when this price came here, it was immediately pushed back. Market stayed here. If you see how long, from 18 December to 20, so one full day market was, shuffling here. Now, don't you consider there's a lot of activity being done here? Yes, it is being done here. Market did break it. Yes, market did break it today. But does that mean that this is totally non-valid now? I don't know. Market may still go here, break this. There's another path. It may go break here, come back here, again take a resistance here, and then move up. The classic, what we call as turtle soup, or whatever, the three bottoms or XYZ names. There are a lot of names for the same kind of market structure. So let's wait and watch. Now, if we go further back to 15 minutes, 15 minutes I consider is a very good time for scalpers, because it will, bring things in your scope of lens where you can actually trade and see what can be done. Now, if we see on the 15, this is the liquidity pool that market may come up to grab. What can be the resistance here? This low can be the resistance here that market may find while going up. The other way is, as we have seen earlier, the market may not go up here and it can suddenly go and come take the liquidity. So, guys, I will stop sharing now because I have to go. So this is the kind of trading we will do every day till the time we start earning. Thank you.